One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Oh, that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com, one of our favorite sponsors, is back.
No Simple Road. Yeah, here we go. No Simple Road.
Surprise, everybody. Hi.
Midweek.
It's Wednesday again.
What?
Ta-da!
Yeah.
You missed us that much that we came back early.
See, we missed 1 week like 2 weeks ago, and we feel so guilty about it that we're doubling up for
All right,
y'all.
you don't got to lie to them.
Hey now, No Simple Road family. What's up? It's Aaron.
It's Mel.
It's Apple.
And we are back for another artist spotlight, and this is gonna be fun. We have Spafford with us.
What?
Yeah.
Our New Year's homies?
Yeah, so Spafford did an amazing 3-night run at the Get Down here in Portland, Oregon for New Year's, and we were lucky enough to go see them on the 30th and catch up with them there at the Get Down for about a half an hour and sit down with them and talk about coming to Portland and their experiences here and all the things about being the Spafford.
Being Spafford.
Yeah.
Being on the road. And you're going to hear it in this interview. There is a lot of laughter and a lot of fun happening. It was a high energy night. And this was right before we did this before the show.
Yeah, I have found that when we go to the venues before a show and interview a band there, those are like the most fun interviews that we do. It seems like those are like the ones where the most laughter is going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it seems giddy and silly, and I would think the opposite because there's so much going on. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
they've got to get ready for the game and kind of get in there, but it's kind of proven to be like majority like lighthearted and kind of fun. And
I think everybody's energy is high, and they're like having food delivered while we're like doing.
They're getting ready to have dinner.
Yeah, they're getting ready for their show for the night. So energy's high, expectations are high. It is a great time.
We weren't high. No, not yet.
No.
But
Not yet.
We had never seen a Spafford show. Am I correct in saying this or no?
No,
this
remember-
was
we
our
had-
second one. I'm lying.
No, this is
Yeah.
our third one.
Yeah, our third one.
Well, we saw them at what I was going to say is doing their own thing, 2 sets of Spafford.
Yeah.
We had only seen them at Summer Meltdown and then at the
then
Get Down a year ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Correct.
And I have to say, they are one of the baddest bands around, period. I in my opinion, and for what it's worth, Spafford should be selling out Hampton Coliseum too.
Yeah, they take jams to a whole new level that you don't hear with many bands.
Mm-mm. No, there was a groove in that room that like, I don't know, that's the thing that I'm looking for when I go see a band, especially a jam band. Like, that particular thing that happened is the thing that I'm looking for. And they did it in their own way. It wasn't derivative. It didn't, you know what I mean? It was quintessentially Spafford, but it was that thing, and it was dope.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved every moment of it. I wish we could have gotten to talk to them the next night.
Oh, yeah.
To see how they thought the show that we were at was, because that was incredible. Like, smiles, dancing, just pure good vibes. It felt really great way to, I mean, it wasn't exactly New Year's Eve, but it felt just like a really great way to close out the year of good music.
For real. It was so good that I almost left our equipment at the Get Down.
Yeah. I had to remind you. You had to run back in. Yeah, I almost didn't realize. It's like Aaron doesn't have his hunchback, with his backpack on. And you'll hear it in here. He talks about how awesome the Friday night show was. We were there Saturday night. And it's just really complimentary and flattering to Oregon and Portland that they chose us to come do that. They really just wanted to be here for New Year's.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. And if you want a taste of Spafford, if you haven't seen them, go whatever streaming platform, because they released back in June of last year. It was live in Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a really good taste of like what they do live.
Apple, what do they have coming up? Do they have anything coming up now?
They've got it. Well, they're taking a short hiatus. They just finished up. They played Jim and Jam down in Arizona on February 2nd, and they're taking a break, but they're hitting the road again starting February 22nd. And this sounds dope. This sounds like a reason for them to have a really good time and just ski a lot. They're doing like 8 dates in a row called Spaff Ski 2024. And this is going to be in Steamboat Springs, Colorado for 4 nights. Then they go to Crested Butte for 4 nights. So 8 days of skiing. And then they go to Frozen Dead Guy Days in Estes Park, Colorado.
Okay.
And then they bounce to Virginia, North Carolina, Ohio, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, New York, Tennessee.
If you want to find out where they're going to be, where do you go?
You go to spafford.net, and you can look at all the tour dates, all the news about stuff they've been doing. I was looking at the news, but apparently they had pulled out an Olivia Rodrigo cover and did that at a show back in the beginning of January. These guys, that's one thing they do very well too. They do covers.
Oh yeah,
so well. Like on that Tennessee one, they do 6 Feet Down by Sneaker Pimps, like a 20-something minute version of it, which is just incredible.
Wow. All right. So yeah, that's Spafford with 2 F's for those of you not in the know. I don't know what the single F Ford is going to get you, but you want the 2.
Yes.
We're going to do the business real quick and get you to this bite-sized episode of No Simple Road Artist Spotlight with Spafford. Follow No Simple Road at No Simple Road on all the social media platforms at No Simple Road. Yeah. That thing.
No Simple
Go to our
Road.
website. It's got merch, nosimpleroad.com. You can get tarot readings. There's all kinds of stuff up there. Go over there, search it out. Look at it. All the back episodes are there. It's fun. Hey, guess what? No Simple Road is now on YouTube.
That's right.
All episodes from 2019 till now are now on YouTube for your listening pleasure. So if you're one of those folks that listens to your podcast on YouTube, you can go check them out there and just search them and they show up. It's easy. Go to patreon.com/No Simple Road. Sign up, become a patron of No Simple Road. You know what? If you value something, then you should pay for it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Then you value it more.
If you value us, then you should give $1 every month and help us continue to do No Simple Road. That's patreon.com/No Simple Road. Do we have any new reviews on Apple Podcasts?
We have no new review. We have not had one since November 3rd.
Wow,
so
what
it's
a drag.
been
Last
over 3
year.
months.
Man, come on, somebody.
Come on.
Do the thing. You know what to do.
What do we got to do?
I'll do a dance. If somebody will leave a review on Apple Podcasts,
You'll do a little dance.
I'll do a dance on Instagram.
You'll get down tonight.
Heck yeah.
That's right. And then let me think. What am I
Tap
missing?
it line.
Yeah.
971-808-1524. That is how you can call No Simple Road. It is your 3 minutes of fame on the show. Call 971-808-1524 and you can do whatever you want.
Tell
there.
us your stories.
Leave
It's
a
open
story.
mic night. Tell us a recipe, whatever you want to do. Some stand-up comedy.
And hey, if you're into mushroom chocolates, go check out @Melt Mushrooms on Instagram. They are our sponsor. Shoot them a DM. Tell them No Simple Road sent you. You are going to get 30% off for the month of February. They will send you their menu. You tell them what you want. You get 30% off. It's a whole thing. They are the best mushroom chocolates in the biz.
I had some this past weekend and just a little micro dose, and it was, I'm telling you, there's something beautiful about what they're doing there. The chocolate, everything's amazing. So just,
Shop Tour Bus also has the coolest Grateful Dead inspired merch on the planet. Go check out @Shop Tour Bus on Instagram or shoptourbus.com. Put in the promo code No Simple Road when you're buying your stuff. You will get free shipping from them.
And you'll be comfy.
And hey, check this out. If you like coffee, like
what?
I like coffee is the thing that when I open my eyes in the morning, it's the first thing I think about. It's the thing that actually like makes me get out of bed. Like, oh, I'm excited. I get to go have coffee. I'm doubly excited now because No Simple Road has a coffee sponsor. Northbound Coffee Roasters is with us, and they are sponsoring No Simple Road. And this isn't your old coffee place. This is owned by Grateful Dead family, craft, artisan roasting.
freshly
Roasted when you order it. They have what's the word I'm looking for? Wow, my mind just went up blank.
Coffee?
No,
Craft.
they have items like Tiger Rose.
Oh, okay, and like the American Beauty that you ordered.
Yeah, flavors, but it's not flavors. It's roasts.
Roasts.
That was the word I was looking for.
Okay.
Roasts like American Beauty, Spoon Bender.
Well, that American Beauty is incredible. We are drinking, we just drank some black coffee where you can actually taste what the coffee tastes like. Amazing.
Yep.
Amazing flavors.
Put in the promo code No Simple Road. You are going to get free shipping on your first order from Northbound Coffee Roasters. You too can be a headlight on a northbound train fueled by coffee. So, like me. All right, that's all the stuff. The business and the ads, and my brain's shutting down because I'm on Whole30. I haven't had any sugar in 2.5 weeks, and I need to eat. So, we love you guys. We're going to get you to this interview with Spafford from December 30th, 2023. So without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you Spafford. Yes, there is an elephant upstairs. We are here with Spafford at the Get Down for their New Year's run, second night, correct?
Night 2 coming up.
Night two. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves for everybody that's listening that can't see you, that's not in the room with us?
I am Jordan Fairless. I am the bass player.
It's cracking, Jordan.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I just went Bob Barker on it.
I liked it. That was great.
Hey, what's up? It's Brian. I play guitar and sing.
Corey Scheckman. I play keyboards in this band.
I'm Nick. I play drums and sing a little bit.
A little bit?
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
I like that.
More this year. You've been singing more.
A lot more.
You got it, man. You're
Well, so
singing a
thanks
lot
for
more.
joining us, gentlemen. This is great. How was the first night so far? Yeah,
I don't want to talk
eye
about
roll. You got to.
I don't want to talk about it.
We can go over it after you say. Just round it out. Round it out.
It feel like anytime I think it's the best show ever, something happens, and we lost the recording last night.
What?
Yes, we lost the recordings. It's like a 1 in like a million chance that the files can get corrupt, and they corrupted last night. All of the backups on backups on backups.
And you love the show.
And
I was raving about last night's show.
that means
stage.
that
I
it was
going-
for who was here. Fuck it.
It was. Yeah. Yeah. And it was for me because, the break that we've had, and I fuel up all this energy and then finally get to release it on stage. And It was. I mean, it was one of the best musical experiences of the year for me.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God. It's gone.
So y'all have played Portland before. When you come back, what do you expect from Portland? You know, when you're coming as a group, like, oh, Portland's like ... Not just that.
I don't know. We have such a varied experience in Portland over the years from our first time here, and was that 2014?
Dante's.
Dante's
Wow.
in 2014.
Okay.
Yes. We
We played before the like Sunday cabaret. They called it cabaret.
It was a burlesque show.
It was a burlesque show. We don't really know what it was. We were here. It was a long, weird tour, but we've come a long way since then. And I don't know. We love Portland, and it's just got a unique energy, and we're happy with the following that we've built here.
Okay, I got to back up on that because Dante's is a very weird place. Did you say you got kicked out of Dante's?
Well, we didn't know what was going on, and I remember showing up and like waking up in whatever vehicle we were in. I think we were in the Power Stroke at that time.
In the shuttle bus.
We were in the shuttle bus that we gutted. Like this thing was the biggest disaster on the road, right? We had so much issues with this vehicle. And I remember waking up and looking outside, and there was I don't know what
Portland outside.
working. It was Portland, but there was working women outside.
Yeah.
Because next to Dante's is where the strip clubs are and all that stuff. So anyway, we went in and played our show, and they were like, hey, you guys got to get your stuff off because, there's a burlesque show coming in. But we had all our stuff downstairs. So there was half naked women downstairs saying, it was very awkward because our stuff was down there. We didn't know that they were coming in and doing this. So like, you guys got to get out of here. I'm like, we just got to get our stuff. Our laundry's like in the dryer, and that's what.
Welcome to Portland.
That's what I remember.
The keeping it weird thing, the motto is really appropriate for you guys in your head.
I feel like keeping it weird was like starting in 2014, right?
Yeah, right.
Like it wasn't weird
So
yet.
you guys actually started it.
We might have had something to do with it.
You would have to do something pretty bad to get. I'm picturing like you guys got too crazy, and they're like, you need to get out of Dante's.
No, it wasn't
because
like
you'd have to
kicked
go pretty
out. It's
far.
like you guys need to like hustle out of
Yeah,
here.
all right.
It wasn't like a negative thing. Like show was great for the 6
We
weeks
all
out
got
there.
naked and lit the place on fire.
Yeah.
It was more of a great job. Now you guys got to go.
Gotta go.
Because we actually have a show that
'Cause the
sells
real-
tickets that's coming up. So you need to.
Well, I mean, let's be real. You guys pretty much sold this place out 3 nights in a row here on this run. Pretty close.
Yeah, tickets are looking good. I mean, it's been a healthy weekend for us. I mean, we've been hitting Portland for
Dope.
many years now. We Doug Fur and Wonder.
Wonder Ballroom.
Ballroom.
Yeah, and then we just came back, and there's a lot of places we were supposed to come back. We were headed back to in COVID era, so it was like there's a big pause in like when we were places. So we've been coming to places a long time, but we kind of had to start over, whatever. So last night's crowd was great. It's going to grow leading into the finale. I'm sure it's going to be an all-out blowout on night 3.
Yeah.
There was one point last night when I was talking about the Backdoor Funk, I think that we played last time we were here. And I don't know if that was before the set or after the set, but I was like, oh, I remember the Portland crowd now.
What was that
it
feel?
Was incredible. It was after the first set. After the first set, I was like, I remember this. So there's definitely a different energy. I mean, look, I was on cloud 9 last night. The crowd, the venue, the sound, band was on fire. It just felt so easy to just play and have fun. And it's, this is my, this is my release. This is my therapy. Like, to be completely selfish about it. Like I do this for me.
But if something that selfish brings so many people joy, I mean, selfish away, dude.
I'm glad people are there that want to watch it.
My question is, what was a determining factor in to do your shows here for New Year's?
We love Portland.
Oh,
look, we may not get the first pick of cities, and you don't want to jump on other people's, so like this band claimed this city for New Year's, and so then Portland was wide open, so we took it.
that's fucking dope. Thank you for doing that for us.
For our style of music,
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It totally makes sense. What you're saying about it being selfish, the doing this for yourself first. I'm reading. She got me this Rick Rubin book for my birthday, and it's about creating art. And like the very first chapter in that book, he's like, if you're not creating art for yourself first, you're doing it wrong.
Well,
so
I did not read the book, nor do I know much about Rick Rubin.
I mean, it makes sense because if you're not fulfilling your trip first, your cup can't overflow on anybody else. You're just, it's an ego driven thing at that point, right? Yeah. Like you're just doing it to be cool.
I think if we catered to the fans as much as they want us to cater to, they actually probably wouldn't like it as much.
Yeah, agreed. It's like you kind of always want a little bit of tension in the relationship. No, you're getting along fine, but there's got to be something.
Yeah.
You know, you got to have a little stab every now and then like, oh, hey, sorry, I didn't mean that.
Right.
But you did.
Yeah.
So when you're doing a 3-night run like this, do you approach doing this differently than just going in and doing a 1-night thing? Do you have like a game plan for each night?
Is it like one big set?
We have our algorithm with our set lists that we utilize. So I can't completely divulge what that is or what that looks like. But we take into consideration a lot of factors when it comes into making our set list.
Is AI involved?
It should be.
Witchcraft.
Dude, we've been like talking about this before AI even became like a thing.
Really?
Before it was called like AI, like we know it now in the last couple of years, like, just automating it. Yeah, we have come up with, ways of wanting to do that.
The Jam Band Set List Orator 2.5.
Absolutely. You know what? Absolutely. Yeah.
Spaff GPT. Yeah, there we go.
But it's 3 nights. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sets all together.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of music that goes into 3 nights. I think there's something that's really relaxing about being at the same venue for 3 whole nights because we're not moving our gear in and out.
Yeah.
We're stationary. We can get good sleep, we get good rest, and it just feels really good to be doing like multiple night runs at the same venue.
You know what I think is funny? I think, every time somebody asks us a question about writing the set list, I always feel like this pressure that like we're saying the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because I don't know the way other people do it. But like, to be honest with you, we write the set list sometimes 10 minutes before we go on stage.
No,
and sometimes we're late on stage because we're giving it to the crew late and they got to go like get it printed. And then the printer's broken, and it's like, oh, push another 10, like literally that's what's going on sometimes if the show's going late. And
That's fair. That's a real answer. I don't fucking know sometimes.
Right.
And then sometimes you got it dialed in.
Yeah.
Well, and it's an intuitive thing though, because like if the time's not right to make the set list, then the time's not right. And sometimes we'll go on for set 1 and we won't have a set 2.
So you feel the room at that point and figure it out by that?
It's just like, we're just like, all right, it's not time. Like, it's not time to make the set list. The inspiration isn't there. So we're like, or sometimes we'll go, like we'll make the first set and then we'll go eat dinner because we don't have the energy or it's not the time to make the second set, and we'll go have dinner and we'll come back and we'll make the second set.
That's sick. I like that.
It's great. It's just like if the collective thing isn't happening, we're not going to sit there and like force it and be like, we got to do this.
Tonight's set list is not written yet.
Yeah, and we got an hour and 20 minutes before showtime.
Yeah.
I love All In, just to let you know. I also I want to the live album that you guys came out with this year early in it was November that it was released from the
Live in Nashville.
That's last year, Apple.
Huh?
Or that was this year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Never mind.
Yes,
I'll
that
shut
was
up.
this year.
I'm sorry.
Shut up. I just want to know who's responsible because you and Mel heard earlier to the who are the Sneaker Pimps. Yep. 6 Feet Down, 23-minute jam on that is one of my favorite pieces of music this year. And then you do All In, which I love, and jam that out. That live album was just dope.
Thanks. Apple. Thank you.
Why'd you choose 6 Underground as a cover, Jordan?
Yeah, Jordan.
Asking the important questions.
I don't know. I've always just been like, I've always liked that song. I forget what movie I first heard it on. No, it was
SLC Punk.
Dude, I know it's old. It's like a weird movie about some kid he's like a hacker and he has to defend his school from, Crazy Invaders or something like that. It had
Okay.
a really good soundtrack, like excellent. All the movies in the '90s had the best soundtrack.
Matthew Broderick in it?
No, it's
You're thinking War
not doing
Games.
I'm
anything
thinking
now.
War Games.
It's anyway. It's one of those films, and I heard that song. I don't know how old I was, maybe like 12, 13. I don't know, and just always been obsessed with it. And then we were like, hey, we need to do something for Halloween. Oh, it's in that key. We could try that with the Zelda thing. And we just kind of started playing it. The rest is history.
It's amazing. Like Apple said, it's a dope ass piece of music, you guys. Like when you're doing a long jam like that, like the thing that I've always wondered being a fan is when you're in the midst of that, how do you fucking know when you're done?
That's a good question.
Sometimes we don't.
It's not like a cake where you smell it and you're like, got to get it out now.
Yeah, it's it's done. Ready.
But we burn cakes all the time, okay? That cake does not always come out right. And you're putting a toothpick in it a whole lot of times to see if it's done yet.
When there's like when there's as much of a level of improvisation happening as there is with us, like you always hope that there's like a smooth dismount at the end, but sometimes there just isn't. And you're looking at it, you're like, are we done? And everyone doesn't really, you're like, and then it goes into the next thing. And like, or sometimes you have a perfect dismount and like everybody just feels it at the same time and you just get this perfect release and you chase those, but it's just not always going to be that. But
Isn't life about chasing the perfect release?
I think the more that you do it, the more you like come to
And now we have the name for the episode.
accept. The more you do it, the more you accept like the imperfect moments. But like it's not even the imperfect is the wrong word because it just is what it is.
Well, is there a wrong time? I mean, in music, especially if you're improvising, I don't know if a wrong time even exists because now you're in uncharted water. And if that's where it ended, then that was, I guess, what was supposed to happen. I mean, unless there's a train wreck.
One thing ends, the next thing starts.
At like 21 and a half minutes, has anyone looked at like the time and been like, oh my God, we got to wrap this up?
That's not the scary part. The scary part, the scary part is the 12-minute mark.
Oh.
Because we wouldn't make it at 23 if you didn't make it at 12.
Absolutely.
Numbers.
That's
right?
true. And is there like a clock or a watch that anyone's watching on
We have
stage?
stage clocks just so we
Okay.
know what time it
Yes,
is because
okay.
a lot of venues will have like very strict times as to when you need to be done.
So are you ever like jamming out something and you happen to notice the clock? You're like, oh shit, I was gone for a while there.
Go ahead.
No, I mean it's crazy. It's such a crazy thing because last night I got to the place that I always try to get to when I play music, and it doesn't happen every night. And I could go weeks without not getting to that place sometimes. But the only way I can describe it is that I have this peripheral sense, like all my senses are firing while I'm up there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I could smell everything, I could see everything,
Intuition's on point.
It's like but it's like overly stimulated. And I'm playing and I'm trying to play music as if I'm just sitting in my bedroom because that's when I think the best music because when no one's around and
Yeah.
And I try to get there and when I have this peripheral, I think like Corey's looking at me being like, what is he doing? Or Jordan's kind of like, all right, what's going to happen here? Or like, what's Nick thinking? And then all of a sudden, like it just starts to fade away and it just starts to shut up a little bit and it starts to get a little bit darker. And like the peripheral, what I could see out to here, we can all see right here, right now, literally becomes only like this big. And I don't know if he's looking at me because I'm not caring if he's looking at me. And it's like I become completely vulnerable or like just detached to all the senses. And at that point in time, like I don't know if he wants me to do anything else other than what I'm doing because it feels so good and it's so locked right now. If anybody has a problem with this is not the right band for you.
Fuck yeah.
Because this is happening.
I'm just getting my dinner. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
This is happening. And I got to that place several times last night, and it's funny because we walk off the stage and like, we're not like hooting and hollering at each other. Like as soon as we walk off, everybody's kind of like running, maybe guys to go pee or get a glass of water or something like that. And like we finally all make it in the green room and it's like a slow kind of conversation. Like, oh, pretty good set, right? I'm like,
Is it scary to ask that question when you felt like that? Yeah, right.
Yeah. Because I'm like, I was like blistering.
Was it good for you too?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. Was like, yeah. Did you like that? Because I really had.
Do you know right away, like if he's had a good set? Do you know what I mean? Like, not necessarily like, does
What
it
a
rub
trip.
off on someone else? Like,
We're all pretty honest about it, like about our experience on stage. Like, and it's not always that, like Brian said.
Yeah.
You know, that's like the goal is to get to that place.
Ideal.
But we never really know when that's going to come around. And we don't necessarily know what the circumstances are that I think I can kind of try to figure out what are the circumstances that lead to that type of experience.
Yeah.
And that we haven't really been able to find it.
No, we
so
haven't
if you were
really-
like, if you were like watching, you were there last night. If you were watching the performance, could you pinpoint or could you say like, oh, I saw it go down, or I saw when he was feeling it as his
absolutely.
teammate? You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
Yeah. And especially because I sit behind him. And so I really get to see it. And I can tell when
wow.
Brian's in it. Yeah. Yeah. I can tell when Brian's in it because he's fucking putting his head back and he's closing his eyes and and obviously you can hear it in his guitar playing too.
Yeah.
He's fucking flying last night. And it's like literally he's got wings and he's flying away.
Did you just say that about? Was it you that said the flying on the guitar? Yeah.
Flying Brian.
Flying Brian.
I wonder if we can see it.
I don't know if you guys can. Because the thing is there's
Or hear it.
sometimes, yeah, right. No, you can't hear it. You don't know if it's good or if it's bad. You just like it.
That's true. You guys, everybody listening, you just like it.
You just
That's
like
it.
I get it. But because to me, my like worst show is somebody's favorite show of all time.
That's the trip.
And I'm like, and you have no idea how uncomfortable I was up there for 2 hours and 45 minutes for you to call this your favorite show.
How dare you?
You know? But that's the way it is. That and it's like with Nick, like there are some times on stage where I'm like, man, Nick's having trouble. Like a lot of our stuff stems from monitors, the way that we can hear each other. Okay. It's like it's applying technology to like a very,
acoustically natural thing.
yeah, like an organic thing. And then you're like plugging, like,
Yeah.
diodes into mushrooms. You know? Like, I don't know.
And the plants are talking now. Yeah, I got you.
It's like it doesn't really work that way, but like there's a lot of technology on stage to make it sound good for us and for these things to work, while we're trying to apply this organic, natural thing, which is music. So I can look at Nick and be like, oh man, he's not feeling it right now, but like I'm having a good show. And I get off the stage and be like, oh, you sounded great up there, Nick. And he's like, like it wasn't really good. Or there's other times when I would go up to Nick and be like, oh my God, Nick, dude, you were so insane. He's like, I'm not having a good show. And I'm like, I had no idea. He's like, I don't want to talk about it, And I'm like, oh my God, like I had no idea. Yeah. So it goes any which way.
And I was going to ask that this question's for Corey because it's been just wondering how watching a lot of the live shows and everything because it's coming up on 1 year you've been in the band now. How are you finding the journey? Because the shows are fucking amazing.
I'm loving it. It goes back to the 4 shows that I played with Spafford in September of last year. I've said this before, and everyone kind of has. It was just kind of shocking personally, how well I thought we worked together and creatively in everything on and off the stage, and it's just continued to grow for me. And like we're talking about last night, being one of those shows, I think all 4 of us did, which is cool. And I had one of those last night, and every time that you get one of those like money shows that's just spiritual for you and you found something, for me it just keeps getting better and better, just like things in life should. So
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
That's
very
fucking
much.
dope, man.
It comes through in the music.
Yeah,
That's the best news you could hear is
Appreciate
something that you like. You don't know how it's going to go. It's September, pops off and hasn't stopped since. Like that speaks a lot to all of your like craftsmanship,
And also, I mean, let's be real. Some people go their whole life and never have even a moment of that shit.
Sure.
Not even one moment, and you're getting to have that over and over again. That's that's why I said congratulations, man.
Thanks a lot.
That's
Yeah,
super dope.
that's why we all do it, and that's why I chose this path. When I was really young, and I finally found we
Your homies.
Yeah, we all linked up, and it's just great.
Back to knowing if it's a good show or not, man. Like, there's this famous clip of Garcia, and he's talking about. They said, they asked him the question, do you know if it was a good show or not? And he was like, man, there's nights where I'm on stage and I'm struggling all night. And I can remember this one night, like I was up there and just fighting with myself. And I yelled at Phil after the show and I told him that he was off all night. And then I went and I sat down and listened to the tapes and they were just crackling with energy. Like those shows were some of the best shows we'd ever played. And I think that as a fan of improvisational music, we're willing to like take the shows that don't get to that place to have one that does, or even, a few minutes in a show where that happens. Cause I have to believe that when you guys are having that experience on stage, we're having it out in the crowd as well, or it wouldn't be happening for you guys on stage. It's one big mind happening, and we're linking up to whatever that thing is, and off we go. And
I want to say too, sometimes just one good thing in a show makes that someone's favorite show forever. It could be a 3-hour show and you did 5 minutes of something rad, and that's why that show is going to go down in history as like the best ever. Yeah, that's true.
Life. Yeah. I wonder too, like when you have a night like that and you're in a run of 3 nights, does it put pressure on you to feel like you need to do that again the next night? Or is that the goal all the time anyway?
Well, that's the goal all the time.
Okay.
And for me, like I've missed the mark, 4, 5, 6 shows consecutively on fall tour or something like that. So maybe I can make it up to myself and maybe get 3 in a row here. But I guess that's the goal.
Right.
But it's not always going to happen that way. But the room sounds good. I mean, the Get Down is like a really awesome place. It feels really good. It's very unassuming, but it works,
man.
And the Portland crowd, combined with that, there's just something really, there's something really special about
Brian,
this place.
You guys, you're from Arizona, right?
Not originally, but the band started there.
The band started in Arizona. We moved from Vegas to here 7 years ago. And going to shows in the Southwest was a different experience than coming to shows here, especially in Vegas. Like we'd go to shows and there'd be a lot of like people that got tickets from their host and they don't even know who the band is or whatever. When we got here, and I think one of the first shows we went to was like Dark Star Orchestra or something at the Roseland. And I walked into the room and was like, holy shit. Like these people came for the music. This is different. This is a different kind of a scene. And once the music started, the vibe in the room was completely different than any other place I had ever been. And I've been around, I've toured around and stuff. So I've seen places, and I think what you said earlier is true about Portland. There's something very special and unique about the folks here and what they bring to live music. I'm stoked that you feel that.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's really cool. Coming from the desert and being somewhere that it's like, just there's more life, and you have that experience like we had of where you see that the crowd is different. Are you seeing that in other places in the country? Does every city have its like own kind of unique trip?
Every city does for sure. I mean, every region too. Like the crowds are similar, they're different, but you start to see a lot of the same people, but there's different vibes in each place, and like how each territory like enjoys their music, like what they do when they go out to the show. In some places people like talk a little bit more because that's just what they do there. Like, people, they're seeing each other, is going to be more prone to speaking, or you're going to have some place where people do not move, and to the point where you're almost not sure if they're enjoying it.
Wow, really?
But they're just hanging and they're sitting there, and then other people, you have a blend, and people are like, there's not everybody's just out there grooving and stuff, and it can be like almost in just certain territories, you just know some places you're just going to go and you're like, man,
They're a bunch of statues.
are they having fun?
Yeah, but the
But you
statues
look
aren't
at the guy
bad.
and they're just but they're
Really?
just so locked in on it. They're not bad. It's just how, like I said, the key thing there is how they enjoy their music.
Okay.
And it could be by dancing, or it could be by standing there and just watching,
Letting
in
it
awe.
wash over you.
I think
or
people go to see
whatever.
Pink Floyd or
Everybody
dancing
has
to go
a-
see The Wall.
Right.
Everybody
No.
has a different thing, and for us, it could be different each night. But it's just like everybody has their own methods of enjoying, and there's no difference in dancing or talking to your friend or standing there watching. That's just like what you're getting out of your experience with music. So
That's a really good point, because I think that people mistakenly make the, mistake of like, oh, if you're not moving, you're not enjoying it. But sometimes you just need to literally feel it coming at you and like hear it. Because I know I'm all into lyrics, and even if it's repetitive, sometimes just feeling that same lyric coming over you is enough. And I often like zone out and just kind of like sway and it doesn't even make any sense. But I like that you said that it's how people enjoy their music, and it's not just through dance. It's a million ways.
When I was in high school, I brought a friend to a Disco Biscuits concert. He was not into jam bands. He wasn't into any of this. He might have dabbled in a little LSD that evening. Just allegedly. I'm not sure. He didn't move once. He stood in the back of the room and he stood like this the whole night. He didn't move. I swear to God. And we walked out of that and we're like, are you okay? And he's like, that was the greatest experience of my life. We're like, okay, because you there was you didn't move. You did nothing. So like this stat, we go to some rooms where it's like, okay, if you don't get the chatter people, then you can hear like a pin drop in the room. But it's like, but they're not moving because they're sitting there listening. It's like the people who are kind of chatting, the people are kind of swaying and like maybe talking, dancing, but it's just different like every single night. So each region does do that. And back to that thing, like I remember on this winter tour or fall tour that we were just on, I forget what the name of it was in Washington when we ate the ribs. What was that town?
Oh no, that was in Columbia Falls, Montana.
There we go. Montana.
Wow.
We remember because of the
Good
ribs.
memory.
Yes. That's how you have to pull up shows is by the food
What
you
you
ate that
ate.
day. Yeah.
It's like the ribs. I'm like, oh, I remember that little house behind the venue. Yeah.
That place was throwing down. It was insane. And it was like maybe the market's kind of starved of music, like this, and they were really appreciative for us to make the trip all the way out there because it's very far out there. So I think it's just it's a different combination every single night in every single city with the people that are there, and just how it all works.
Hey, I was going to say, because we need to let you guys go eat. It's almost 7,
Yes.
but I just wanted to say very heartfelt thank you for choosing Portland. Thank you for choosing the Get Down. This has become a very special place to us. And thank you for having Bodie Mojo are very close to us, very dear friends. And they're so excited that they're doing this with you. Just thank you all for doing this for us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Love y'all. Take
Love you
it
too.
easy. Thank you.
Right on. Thanks.
Enjoy the food. And what's on the set list for the second set?
focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The react is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A=A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
This is the story of Whitney Houston.
This is the story of Kurt Cobain.
Of George Michael, of Otis Redding, of Amy Winehouse, of Michael Hutchence, Bob Marley. This is the story of Prince.
It's a new podcast series
about how they died, why they died, and why we're still talking about them so long after.
It's like nothing you've ever heard before.
It's storytelling.
But it's more than that, because rock stars,
they tell us how we feel. They change our mood.
They change the clothes we wear, the people we hang out with,
the way we remember things.
It's them who give us those ludicrous moments, the ones where you're
jumping around, singing your heart out, feeling understood.
And it's those moments we'll help you remember, the ones you're thinking about right now.
That feeling.
That feeling.
It's coming soon from Crowd Network.
Just search for Death of a Rock Star on your podcast app.
And subscribe now.